Okay, so I've got Leticia Wilson coming. I'm going to try attempt in a Zoom, or I'm going to attempt a Teams with her. But right now, I'm just gonna go look her up. I mean, that's one of the things that I like to do prior to, because I might actually have had them in a class already, which is really kind of cool. And then I already have a relationship with them. So you have to open up. Um, First thing I do is I typically go and look up their eval just to know where they are, what they need to do, and make sure that they are where they need to be. All right, so log in. Hmm, No, didn't it? All right. So I don't have her number, so I'm just going to look her up. There's two different ways of being able to find people. If you know their name, you can just go ahead and put their name in. And I'm going to look at what isn't really Leticia, but it's where I can see things. So I've got the student. Now I need to switch over to actually looking at their eval. And I know it's kind of tedious to get the eval. Oh, wow. Been in several different things. This is always good information that you can see that they've been in different programs, and you can even mention that and make sure. And if they have several that are active, I usually wait until I talk to the student to be able to pull up their eval to make sure it's the correct one. Or maybe they're trying to switch. I do business, and so this student's in kinesiology. I'm not going to be good at kinesiology. But here's my degree down here. I'm going to open that up and see where they are. So you have to save and then update and then download. And what I typically do is I save it in a file folder. So if and when they call me back, I put their name, their ID number, so that I can go and look at it really quickly. I don't have to go and do this whole process again. All right, wow. So they brought in some, this is transfer credit. They're enrolled, they were enrolled, but they're not enrolled right now. So one of the things that I also like to do is go and look in Civitas. Civitas is their whole life. You can go and look and see everything that they've done. Well, all right. So I want Inspire for advisors. Again, let's see, I had the ID number 051042. 051042. Well, oh, the extra oh. All right. One of the first things I do is you can go and look at everything that they've done, their whole history here. And I love that because typically I can go back and it's like, was I teaching business principles, section 709 last semester? Oh, and I can go look them up and it's like, oh yeah, they were a really good student. And then I have something to talk to them before I even get started. So I like that. We definitely need to log outreach. I get in trouble for that all the time. All right. So I'm going to call the student. Switch over to registration and ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hi, this is Teri Samo over in Business Administration at Del Mar. I have you as an advising appointment today at 10:30. Is that correct?
Yes, that is definitely correct. Miss
Great. Is this
Samo,
a
Miss
good time?
it
Samo, Samo. Yes, I'm very
okay.
easy to work with.
Thank you for calling me. I'm so anxious to get back into school. It's been a while. I don't know if you know that, but I'm excited and nervous. It's been a while. So yes, I'm happy to meet with you.
Great. And what degree plan were you looking at? Because I had several when I looked you up.
Yeah, I haven't I've been back and forth at school because other things became a priority, but now I know that I really want to do business admin. So would you be able to help
Okay.
me with that?
Absolutely. Now, there's two different programs in business. Okay.
Okay.
Business administration is where you're going to be doing lots of core and you're getting ready to go to have a bachelor's in another in university. Is that what your plan is?
Yes. I know
Okay.
that for sure now.
Okay. Well, the other plan is in management, and
Oh.
it's a AAS, and there is some core, but it's mostly business classes. And I didn't know if that
Mm.
might be something you might want to look at also. And when you go to university, it goes right into a leadership role. So I know
Oh.
I've had some students that's more their, not a general business degree, but they have plans to maybe become an entrepreneur or they have plans to open their own business.
Oh.
So that degree is an option for you also. And so that's typically the two different degrees that we have here at Del Mar in business
Hmm.
that you can choose from.
You know what? After you mentioned that, I'm really interested in being my own entrepreneur because now I'm at a different stage in my life.
Right.
So I think I'm more interested in that AAS that you discussed because that's more aligned with what I want to do with leadership and entrepreneurship.
And I've had a lot of students that feel that way. And it just depends on your focus. If you
Yeah.
just want a degree in business, a business administration goes into a business administration at university, and you can do just about anything with it.
Okay.
And that's really fantastic. But if you already have, some plans, some ideas,
I do.
I I do believe that management, really kind of helps you to develop those skills and
Okay.
knowledge.
Let's get started. I'm ready. I'm really excited that you exposed me to those different career pathways because now I know, back when I first went to school, I was just like, I just want a general business. I wasn't sure at that point, but I'm at a
Right,
different stage now, Miss Amo, a whole different
right.
stage. So thank you
And
for exposing me. So let's
oh,
get to it. What classes? How do I sign up? Does any of the classes that I took before apply to this business?
yes, we can do a proposed plan
Oh,
where I go in and I put in the code for the actual degree,
okay.
and it will pop up and it'll show us all the things that you've already done that will apply to that degree.
Oh, okay.
And I think I'm doing it correctly.
This is really helpful because I don't want to feel like I lost all the coursework that I did before.
No, no,
But I
absolutely.
know now I have a more tailored path that I want to go on. So I just kind of want to see where I am.
Okay, and I can't ever remember what the numbers are. Okay, that's typical, right?
So you're
All right.
saying you don't remember what the numbers are?
The
Is that
letters for the degree plan. Sorry, you need to cut this part out.
It's okay.
Or you can look
You can go to the major.
major codes. I have them all in a folder so that I can find them easily
Okay.
whenever I'm trying to look for things. Okay, MGMS. Okay. I think I was doing the other. I'm being dyslexic today. All right. So we can look. It's a little different with the proposed. We have to go to the eval down here and it'll
Oh.
pop up because you're not in that evaluation. So now we just do the same, save, update,
Now you
and
what credits I took that will apply to this new degree. Oh, okay. Okay.
absolutely. And here's the other deal. Are you doing any kind of financial aid?
I am. I am.
Okay, we have to make sure we do a change of major form because if it's not on your major, they will not pay. So I
Okay.
can email you that form. If you give me your email, I'll be more than happy to email. Well, right now, because of COVID, actually, you can just send it to Reg Info and I'll give you the
Oh,
codes for the degree plan you're in
okay.
and the degree plan that you want to be in, and you can just send it directly to them and we don't even have to fill out the form anymore,
Oh,
which is great.
wow. Okay. I'm going to
All
put my
right,
email in the chat. Would that be helpful?
that'd be great.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that right now. So
Okay.
you're showing me this degree plan or this program eval. Is that
Mm-hmm.
for the leadership? What is the degree called?
It's called management development.
Management development. And that's
And
some form
so
of leadership?
it's an AAS degree that will go directly into Texas A&M Corpus Christi Leadership BAS degree. BAS.
Oh, okay. How do I know that these classes will transfer?
It's an agreement between us and A&M. Is that where you're going, or is there another organization that you're going to go to?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I already have a business here in town and I have roots here.
Oh,
So I definitely want to stay here in Corpus. So you said
okay.
that we have an agreement with Texas A&M.
A&M.
What is
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
So that means that all my classes will transfer without a problem?
Absolutely. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. Okay. Excellent. So you're showing me this.
Okay, so you have English credit already. You already took business principles, which is a great class to get started with. It encompasses everything about business. If this was the first time that you've ever been in school, I would definitely put you in there. Now the management and here I'm going to explain something also that's going on right now. And you've said you've been here before. So probably then you were in 16-week classes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the president of the college has encouraged us to be able to do 8-week classes, which means that if you're only going part-time, you can take a class in the first 8 weeks and then take a class in the second 8 weeks and still get credit for 2 classes, but you just focus on that class for those 8 weeks. Now,
Okay.
the other thing about the 8 weeks is that 16 weeks have been cut in half to 8 weeks. So you're going to be doing twice as much work every week for an 8-week class, but then you'll be done.
Okay.
So some students, they really like that. Other students do not. And for this semester right now, I'm teaching this business principles of management class in the second 8 weeks. And then I'm teaching this principles of marketing right now for this 8 weeks.
Okay.
So you could get those 2 classes that are both on your degree in 1 year, but is that something that you would be comfortable with doing 8 weeks versus 16?
You know what? Honestly, I work better when I'm able to focus in on one class for a shorter period of time because when it gets
Mhm.
stretched out, I already have experience in the field. I've been to school before, but it's just been some time. So I like the 8-week concept because I can get more done and I can be more honed in on just one class at a time. So let's do that 8-week class. That sounds like it'll be aligned with what I want the pacing to be. So
Okay. And are you going full time or part time?
what would you recommend? Like, I haven't been to school. I don't even remember the last time I took a class, maybe back in 2015. So it's been almost 5 years. But I'm really good at time management and just coordinating my schedule, my family schedule, my work schedule. So, but what would you recommend? Because it's just been such a long time.
Well, and have you taken an online class before?
I have, but it's been a long time. It's been a
Well,
long time.
and I'm glad to hear that you're disciplined, because you're going to need that to be able to accomplish this and work at the same time. And what I suggest to most students is you just pick a time. And here's the other thing right now. Some instructors are using Zoom and Teams virtual conferencing at a particular time. And
Is
excuse
that your
me,
family member?
that's my husband just
Oh,
walked in
okay.
and walked back out. Okay. I don't,
That just humanizes the experience because we're all working from home, right? I understand, Miss Samo. I understand.
thank you. I don't know what that was. Okay, what was I talking about? Zoom conferencing. It can be either, in all of my classes, I record myself and you pick a time to be able to work on my class. But other instructors pick a time as if it was a face-to-face class. And so on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30, you're going to meet with your math instructor, or you're going to meet with your English instructor.
Oh.
And so what works better with your schedule?
Honestly, it would work better if I could set my own pace
Mhm.
and if I can just go into the class, do the work by a specific deadline instead of having to have it at one particular time because I'm running a business. So at nine
Right,
o'clock, I might not be available. Um,
right.
is that possible?
Absolutely. And we can look up, and one of the things that I typically do is I go into WebDMC, and you can do this also,
Oh,
and look for sections of classes.
okay.
And this is, I in students you can do that, but I'm going to go into faculty. And so when you go to look for a particular class, let's pick something that's has a lot of classes, like let's do English.
So what you're doing right now, I can do on my own. I can actually look up
Yes, ma'am.
classes. Oh, that's
Absolutely.
neat.
Because I've had students, it's like, well, I need a particular time, or I need a particular,
Yeah.
and it's difficult sometimes. And this is typically what I do with students.
Could you make
So
that
like this is
larger? It's really hard for me to see.
absolutely.
This is really helpful because I don't want to sit here to have you look through my schedule for me. I want to be able to go into the system and look up classes that meet my schedule. I just really need help with the advising part. Oh,
Well,
that's
and
so
here,
much better.
oh,
Okay.
good. And the other thing is, um, especially with core classes, you might want to check for instructors that kind of match your way of thinking.
So, are you
And
saying that I should try to select a instructor that has a teaching style that matches my learning style?
thank you. I couldn't have said it better. That's
Okay.
exactly what. And a lot of my students will go on Rate My Professor, or ask other students that they know, how's this instructor, that'll, because we do want you to, I want you to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be bogged down or discouraged, heaven forbid, from taking a class and then it not working. I want you to continue, and I want you to be successful. So whatever we can do to choose an instructor that's going to work well with you or that you're going to feel comfortable with is important. Now, see, like this class,
Can I go back to
Thursday,
something that you just said about Rate My Professor? I heard that Rate My Professor is almost like critics, like people only go on there when they're upset. So should I use that as the full picture of how the instructor, because I know me when I have a business, people really go on those reviews and kill me, my business, but that may have not been a good day for one of my wait staff. So it's not really a full picture. Should I use that
that's right.
as the tool, or should I just how would you suggest that I make those decisions? Should I just use it based on Rate My Professor, or should I
Mm.
take a lot of different things into account?
I would just use it as a guide. And you're right. There too many times they're just negative comments
Okay.
and not positive comments. And I would take that with a grain of salt. I mean, if you see multiple negative comments, or the other thing that my professor that I've seen is that, okay, they were willing to work with me. They gave lots of examples, trying to see what kind of instructor they are. You can
Oh,
always go to each one of the instructors have their own um, page in Del Mar also, and you can go and
oh,
see what their philosophy is to try to match it, especially if you're only taking one or two classes and
yeah.
this is the first time in a long time that you've been there. I want you to have a positive experience.
Okay.
um, Most of my students, they just call and say, um, what classes are you teaching? Because they just want to be in all my classes and I can't teach everything. But it's because I've developed a relationship with my students. And so they like the way I present things. In my class, you just pick the time. I have students that at 2 o'clock in the morning are doing an exam or a homework, and that's what fits their schedule.
And
And
honestly, that's
so,
going to be me because
yeah,
during the day it's all business, and then when I come home from work it's family. And so in the evenings, late evenings is when I'm going to devote my time to school. But I really want this, Miss Samo. I really, really want this. So I'm going to carve out the time to do that, but it's going to be very odd hours. So, okay.
right.
Okay. So
And all my assignments close on Saturday at midnight, and then Sunday morning I'll open up another week.
oh,
And
so that's
so a
how it's
lot of my
structured.
students, yeah.
Okay. So
So,
sorry, I
but
know we got off track, but I just wanted to
no,
get clarity
no,
on
no.
once I choose classes, like what that thought process should be. So you giving advice about Rate My Professor just doesn't only give negative stuff, but it also gives teaching styles. And I can also ask some of Del Mar students, because I know some people that go to Del Mar right now. And I can
Good,
also look at the faculty's webpage because they have pages to learn more about them and their teaching style. That's going to be really helpful for me. So this is
good, because good.
Oh, so this is the system. And so I'm looking at these different columns. This is really interesting. It kind of reminds me of shopping on Amazon, how you can search for things and you have things that are, on back order. That's what it looks
Right.
like, clothes and stuff. So, okay.
Well, and here I wanted to point out, because and there aren't any. See, this is the full 16 weeks.
How can I
This is
tell?
a
Oh,
dual
you
credit
highlighted
class.
that cell? Okay.
Right. And this is one of those odd 15-week courses. And so it doesn't even begin until to the end of next week. Well, I'm going to go to the last one, because one of the things that, and you can see, no, that's not going. I wanted to be able to show you. See, this one says second 8 weeks, and it
See
begins in the
that?
middle of October.
Oh, I see that. Oh,
Okay. And
okay.
so you need to be able to, differentiate. This search for sections has so much more information. And I know you can register yourself, but when you go to register, you're just going to see these letters and numbers and maybe not know which class you're getting into. And so going in here and then just checking to see if there's any available seats. That's what this is.
So the second number
The
would be how many seats are open?
total. The first number is how many available still.
Oh,
The
okay.
second number is how many are total in the class.
Okay. So in that particular class, there's 11 seats open.
Yes.
Okay. And that's McCain, and that's
And
INET. Does that mean online?
everything's online right now unless it has a lab that's required for you to be there. The president of the college decided that any lecture base that we can put online would just be the safest for right now. And so pretty much everything's online. So, but it sounds like that would work well with your schedule.
It truly would, to be honest with you. So
Great.
this is
Okay.
great.
Well, there's just so many things to think about, you know, and I know that especially when you just coming back after a while, I would take breaks of 7 or 8 years in between my degrees. So I totally understand because you kind of get out of the habit of doing homework and, you know, making sure things get done. And so I want you to get a schedule that's going to work with your schedule and that is going to be something that is is the best for you because you're the only one who can do that.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you all the classes that you need to take, but you have to decide what classes to actually take.
So what would you recommend for this semester based on
Well, if
those?
you want to do, yeah, 2 8 weeks, and I'm not going to put you into my classes because I need to fill them up. They're already pretty full. But I think it would be a good way. It seems like you and I are developing a relationship anyway. And so we can put you in my marketing class, which will probably help you with your business
Can you tell me
because you
those
have to come up.
numbers so I can look them up on my own? What that
Sure.
number is? Because that web DMC sounds like I can navigate that pretty easy.
Oh, yeah. MRKG
Would you be able to
13.
put that in the chat? I think that'll help me because then I can reference it later.
Well, I'm in full screen, so I can't get to.
Okay, I will type it in to make sure that I'm right. So it's MRKG.
1311 Principles of Marketing.
Okay, so that's a freshman level class?
It's a beginning level class, yes.
Okay, Principles of Marketing. Could you show me a course description of that? Because I really want to learn about what that course talks about. How do I look up course descriptions? I've completely
Okay, that's
forgot.
a great question. Here, and the other thing is all of our classes are going to be through Canvas, so that gives me a great opportunity to show you this also.
Okay.
Okay, up here on the Del Mar website, let's go to the main page so that you can see that anytime you need to get to anything, it's right up here at the very top.
Okay.
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 This Viking toolbox has a myriad of things. We can look up the catalog right there, but Canvas is where all your courses will be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And do you know how to log in?
Can you show me that right after we talk about the course description? Because I'm
Sure.
really anxious to learn about
Catalog.
the
I'm going to look
catalog
up the catalog.
and the course because I'm excited about taking this Principles of Marketing class. I just want to see what that course description.
Now the phone's going to go off. Okay. So what else? What else are we going to have to do?
It's
I can't
okay.
reduce the amount of okay, so here's course description.
Okay.
I'm in the course catalog. I'm doing for 2019, 2020.
Okay.
Over here on course descriptions, and we can scroll, 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 scroll.
It looks like if, oh.
And then we can go to marketing.
Could I could I go to that magnifying glass in the left-hand corner and just type in right above contents? Could I?
Okay, we can do that too.
Oh, okay. And then I can
MRKT.
1311.
Okay. Gosh, we don't even teach all these classes anymore. Huh.
Uh-oh.
Wow. We used to have a marketing degree,
Oh, okay.
and we don't any longer. So,
Could you increase the size of that
sure.
so I can see it? Oh, that's so much better. Oh,
Okay,
introduction.
so it's just now one of the main things that we do, because I'm teaching the class, I can tell you, is that you have to create a marketing plan.
Oh,
And so you do that throughout the whole semester, and that's the main objective for the whole class. Now, I don't have you do what you'll have to do in probably bachelor's or master's degree is do all the analytics and all the actual calculating of demographics and things like that. We're going to focus on one product, and we're going to focus on one company here. And if you want to use your own, that would be fine. If you already have a company, that would be great. I would love that. And we'll develop a marketing plan throughout the semester. And it's just a really good course for you to be able to get started, especially since you already have some business experience and knowledge.
I can see this class being helpful. I have a restaurant here in town, and I can really see this because we're trying to up our marketing just because of the space we're in with COVID. Outside of, Facebook and Instagram, what are some other marketing strategies I can use to really build up my business? Since we're able to still, have customers come in using safe business practices, but also just marketing that we're still a viable business. So this class would really be helpful. So,
Yeah.
okay. So that's how I look it
It
up in
is
the
with
course.
me, so it's fun.
All right. So that's one of my 8-week courses. Now, can you show me that Canvas thing that you were telling me about earlier? I was just really curious about the course itself.
Okay, so here in Canvas, and and if your password isn't working, now typically if you're a brand new student, your password would be your birthday, 2 month, 2 day, 4 year. If it is not working, and this is the Viking help desk, if you cannot log in, you need to contact them, and
Okay.
they will help you get into class,
Okay.
because that's where you're going to have to. There's a really nice Canvas orientation for you to be able to take if you've never used Canvas,
Okay.
and faculty and staff. But logging into Canvas, I'm already in. I can show you the class. Actually,
Okay.
since I already have it going.
So this is what the class looks like online through Canvas.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh,
So I have a little
wow.
introduction to my course. That would be the first thing that I would suggest. I have announcements every week. You can always go to the syllabus, and if you need a printout of the syllabus, it's right here. There's a link to it, and you can print it. But these are all the things that we're going to do each week.
Okay.
And in modules, I have this week's assignments for you to
Okay.
complete. And then they're due at the end of Saturday at midnight, and Sunday morning, I will open up week 2 for you to get started.
Okay.
So, and most of my students really like that because they have their weekends free to be able to work on homework and get it in before the deadline. And then a lot of my students, as soon as I post it on Sunday morning, they're jumping right on it, and then they don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week.
This is really helpful being able to see what the class looks like on this Canvas, because Canvas is fairly new because it's been so many years since I've, been in a class. So it was really helpful for me to see where the syllabus is, how I log on, how you have your class set up. Now, honestly, Miss Samo, it's been a long time and I might need help with my writing skills because I'm very shorthanded when I do anything for my business. It's just bullet points. So, is there any tutoring or any resources that I can utilize in this online space? Like, are there any resources that I can still use since our
Well, the library has an amazing amount of information for you, and they also have their Stone Writing Center.
Oh,
One of
okay.
the nice things about that, and I think I have to log in, is that you can submit, like you're working on your marketing plan for my class. You can submit that to them. They will make suggestions for you. The other thing in my class is that I create a discussion for the whole class to read each other's marketing plan. Each of you have to create a marketing plan,
Okay.
but you're going to be able to have information from other students, and you're going to be able to see what they're writing to kind of help, narrow down and to work on yours.
Oh,
But yes,
so
stone
we can
writing
get feedback from our classmates about the
as well as
content.
me. Right.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just not, submitting an assignment because I need some other eyes to look at it because yeah, it's been a
I,
while.
that's absolutely true. I do not hand anything in without somebody else looking at it. That's just the best way to be. Yeah, I think. All right.
Okay.
Nope.
So
That
you
was
were able to show me the course. So that was one of the courses that you said I should take, MRKG 1311 Principles of Marketing. Is there another course for the second 8 weeks that you recommended?
I would recommend the Principles of Management. Again, I'm teaching it, and I don't want to just promote, and that's a BMGT. But these are your other classes. No, BMGT.
So it's BMGT.
All right, so these are all well, not all the classes that we're doing right now, but Principles of Marketing, I know, is the second 8 weeks. You don't have to do the practicum to the end. Advanced Communications, that's a 16-week course. Leadership is a 16-week course. These are, because I'm in this department, this is only in the spring. We probably need to put some of that out here.
Do I have to take these in a specific order? So do I have to take Marketing 1311
No,
and okay.
this is the suggested. Okay, this is that proposed plan that I pulled up for you.
Okay.
And it does not have to be in the order that it's on here.
Okay.
You just have to be able to take all of these classes to be able to be ready for to graduate.
Okay. So I don't have to take them in particular order. So the 2 8-week classes you suggested was the Principles of Marketing, and that's MRKG 1311, and then Principles of Management, BMGT 1327. Are those two
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So how do I know how much they are? Because I need to be able
Are
to
you?
plan.
Well, that would be the other question. Are you in district? You live here in Corpus?
I do.
Okay.
Are there,
Are there?
I really don't want to use financial aid because I've actually saved for coming back to school. Is there a payment plan option? And how much will these two classes be? How do I know how much they will be?
Well, once I register you, I can do a bill and I can send that to you. But it's around $300 a class.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there any way
Does
where I
that
can see how much it is per credit?
back on the Del Mar website?
Okay.
Current.
I just like to cost out things because I'm really having to pinch pennies these days. And
Oh, no, totally totally understand that. So,
If you scroll up, Teri, and you type in tuition in that toolbar on the page, it'll come up.
if I spell it correctly. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay. So these are the, okay, so if I'm in district, that's how much it is for 3 credits. Okay, that's really helpful. All right. So I'm gonna take a look at that later, and that'll give me, so how do I know how many credits the class is?
Each one of our business classes are 3 credits each.
How do you know that? Is there a way that I can identify?
Back in the catalog? Well, where'd it go? I've got too many things open.
That's all right. I'm used to multitasking, especially for my business.
Well, in the catalog and in the search for sections. No, no, no. Well, there we go. All right, here is the credits. If when we're back in the search for sections in WebDMC.
Okay.
It gives you the credits here.
And I was told that those 4 numbers mean something, like English 1302, the first number tells you it's a freshman level class. The second number gives you the number of credits. So
That's
is that,
exactly right.
okay. So if I didn't go into WebDMC, I know that the 4 digits, they mean something. So the second number gives me how many credits the class is. Okay. And I can also see it there in WebDMC. Okay, that's helpful. So I can gauge that you're recommending that I take 6 credits this semester because both the classes are 8 weeks. So then I can go back on that tuition and see how much 6 credits is for in district. And then I can ask if I can sign up for a payment plan. Okay. Okay.
That's through WebDMC. Now remember, Canvas, WebDMC, and your email is all here at the top of the Del Mar webpage.
Oh.
Okay. Your email is really important because they're going to send lots of information through your Del Mar email. And so you need to check that periodically. And it's the exact same login for Canvas, for WebDMC, and for your email. So whatever your username is and your password is, it's the same for all of them. But you do need to check with them. Also, in my, I don't know where everything's going. Can't find all my. You can always get a hold of me in Canvas in the inbox.
Okay.
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 There, that's it goes directly. So like I have one student who has a question for me, and it goes directly to my phone. And in my syllabus is my cell phone. Actually, this is the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Through
Okay.
Canvas.
Yes.
Okay. So I really feel comfortable with you because we've had this conversation. How do I know my business takes a lot of my time and also the time that I like to spend with my family outside of that. If I hit a snag, who do I go to as my advisor? Will you be my advisor from now on, or who's going to be
Yeah.
my point person?
No, absolutely. Call me, send me a message, text me. I'll be more than happy to help. And I know that, once the classes start, that becomes even more stressful because you're not sure. And I also have to, well, I'm going to put you in 2 of my classes, so they're already published. But there are instructors that have not published yet into Canvas, and so you're going to have to probably try to send them an email to make sure that you're in that class. And
Oh,
any questions that you have, I'll be more than happy to help you with.
okay.
Yes, definitely keep me Samo as your advisor.
I'm really nervous. I mean, I understand how to work WebDMC now that you've showed me. I'm going to go in that Canvas tutorial and learn more about it. It looks pretty friendly, but I'm still going to just orient myself. I know where to look
Right.
up tuition, but would you have any recommendations on just how to navigate this school thing all over again? I'm not new to it, but I'm just really anxious. Um, any tips?
Send me a message anytime you really get stressed. But I think that your instructors, as well as, well, we have an entire, um, not just the, for current students, there are so many resources. And I don't want you to feel alone. And I know in this time of COVID that that's something that's really happening a lot. We need to be able to have somebody to talk to, and that's truly what I'd be more than happy to talk to you for anything that's going on. But you have lots of resources. We have there's the disability services, there's careers and technical, there's the student success. They're really very good about, making sure you're doing all right. Uh, I did not look at your REM scores. Are you
I'm college
math
level
ready?
ready. Yeah, because I
Okay.
already, I'm coming back to school. But are there any suggestions outside of this page that you think I should do as a student, just getting back into the swing of things? Any recommendations for me? I'm really needing your guidance as an advisor. Like what would you suggest? I'm currently, like I said, I have my own business and I work between 50 to 60 hours a week. I do have 2 children. I have a very supportive husband. He helps me manage the business. Um, and I'm starting back this school thing all over again because, I have a different mindset now. And I want this degree to really validate what I'm doing to prospective silent donors or potential expansion opportunities. I really need this degree to validate what I'm doing. So, with that and navigating school, would you have any recommendations on what I should do in the next month or two to really make sure that I anchor myself in this school and in life?
You do need to find time for you. I mean, you really do. It sounds like your life is just unbelievably regimented. And I know with what's going on with COVID, your children are going to have to spend time on the computer also if they're not in class. And so being able to find that time and making sure that you have the internet. I mean, we even have internet in the parking lot at Del Mar.
Oh,
If you don't have any right
I
now, you
do,
can sit
but
in your
sometimes when my
car.
kids are on, the bandwidth gets bogged down. So maybe if
Yeah.
I just drive my car and go into the parking lot to just have some me time and
Quiet
work on
time. Yeah.
schoolwork, that's helpful. Wow. So I can kind of do both me time and schoolwork. Okay. Okay.
Right. And you can we can always video conference if you're really getting stuck.
Okay.
Um, I try to offer as much help as possible in all of my classes. I record myself doing the PowerPoints and reviewing, and I try to make it as much of a face-to-face online thing you can do. I'm sorry that a lot of instructors don't have all that stuff that we share with you in class and how I get to know you. We're missing out on that, and it's sad that we can't do that. So I mean, I'm always there for you. If you need, are you talking about like counseling? Do you think you need some?
No, I just wanted some helpful tips because I'm putting another thing on my plate. And so I just want
Yeah.
to make sure that I'm successful and So I wanted your
Well, you're probably
recommendations.
going to need 3 to 6 hours. Well, it'll be more than that in the 8-week class. Probably more like 6 to 9 hours a week for you to kind of carve out to be able to work on the class, to
Oh,
really be able
okay.
to learn. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you can get a grade, you can do the work, but if you really want to learn, you're going to need to spend more time and read the book. The book is actually has an online component that I like much better, and you can actually do a it won't let you go forward until you get a concept, and that's something that especially students who want to have a more in-depth understanding, and it sounds like you're going to need to know and understand marketing and managing your own business quite a bit more. So those are available to you through the Access and Connect in my
Okay.
Canvas course. But gosh, my hat is off to you. I am so impressed with the students who can do work and home and class. I've been blessed my whole life that either I've been in school or I've worked. I haven't tried to do both. And I know that that's a difficult thing. And you really do need to take a breather, find some quiet time for you, and be able to, focus on what you need to do. Too many times, I think we think we can multitask, and we end up not being able to get real information. And what I've been doing is whatever class I'm working on, that's the only thing I'm doing.
Okay.
That's my focus.
Okay.
I've even, when I've tried to do 2 or 3 classes at the same time, I put the wrong PowerPoint in the wrong class. I mean, because, I thought I could multitask and I could take care of all these things, but truly, in order for us to have peace of mind and be able to get a task done and over with, you just got to focus on that one task. And
Okay.
having a good, and I hope this is one of my hope for all my students. And you're going to have to take a human relations class, and that's a really great class, just to learn why people do things, why you do things. It's a wonderful tool for you to kind of give yourself a way of saying, hey, I'm worth, and I should be able to communicate, and I should be able to offer my opinion in a non-threatening place. And so I do that with all of my classes so that they can have an opportunity to not just do the work, but interact with the other students. And, I always tell my students, and unfortunately, because you're not face to face, this is a great place to build your network. You have no
Huh.
idea what the other students in this class have or are going to develop. It might be the new Bill Gates. It might be some supplier for your restaurant that, is going to give you an opportunity to really build your business. And so the more interaction we can have between students, the better, even in an online situation. We do need to, develop that sense of community. We need to develop that sense of understanding, and that's what discussions are all about in an online class. Sadly, I would just give time in class for my teams to get together, and they all work on one thing and can move forward. But this is how we can do it now, is to offer discussions, and you get to know other students, they get to know you, and hey, sky's the limit on what you can develop.
Man, Miss Samo, I was just writing down notes as you were talking. You gave me some really good facts or take home message, like think to yourself that I'm going to have to study 6 to 9 hours a week per class. Carve out some me time. That's what you said. Also, make sure I read the book because I need some reinforcement of some of the principles that we're going to learn about in your classes and other classes. Um, Building network. I completely just forgot about that whole thing, is that we're building network even with my classmates that I'll have in class, because we all are professionals in our own right, and we all may have established businesses, and we are the future, and we're making that space. And I can potentially have a supplier. I'm actually looking for one right now in the classes.
Great.
So being able to network even in this virtual space, that's a really great reminder for me. And just building that sense of community, that we're all in this together, and knowing that I have you as my support. And you said that the best way to contact you was through Canvas. That is going to be so helpful, because I know I'm going to have days where I may not be able to get away, but I'm going to
Okay.
need that gentle reminder. Hey, Leticia, you came back to school, so you can do it. I'm pretty motivated, but I still have those moments where it all happens at once. So those are really tangible examples of what I can do right now to help me succeed at this second go round on, because I want to validate what I'm doing,
Right.
so it's my time. So thank you. I have to go.
Okay.
Because I had this time carved out, but I'm very
Okay.
grateful for what you showed me and the classes, the principles of marketing and principles of management. I'll go on WebDMC and I'll register myself now that refresh my memory. Um, so what's after I get enrolled and I pay, then when should we like meet again, or should I just wait for you? Like, how does that work? I don't want to be too much of a burden on you.
No, 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 you're not. I mean, that's my job. I'm here for you. So whenever, the easiest and in my syllabus is my cell phone. Just text
Mm.
me.
Okay.
Truly, I know that's lots of my students have my cell phone, and it's the easiest way to get a hold of me if you really need me, and I'll
Okay.
be more than happy to get back.
All right.
So welcome back. You'll do
Thank you.
great.
I'm excited and nervous, but I'm ready. It's my time. Thank you, Miss Samo.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. All right. Now talk us through what you're going to do after the appointment.
Okay, so let me go back to, oh goodness, I've got so many things open. Um, okay, let's go back here. Minimize this and get rid of some things. All right, so that I don't need. I don't need. Okay, one of the things that I typically do afterwards is I come back in here to Inspire and I log the outreach. I just write,
Go ahead and go through the process.
oh, okay. Oh, I can here, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so it was student initiated. The student called in and asked for an advising appointment. So I always do student initiated. I did a virtual advising. The reason for, well, it was not enrolled, but also we looked at a different degree plan. So I'm going to put info on and other. All right, so they're not enrolled, and they're not enrolled because well, personal right now. So we talked about academics. I was trying to inspire her. Um, Program requirements, because we're looking at, oh, I didn't get the email. Oh my, okay, so I'll have to email it to her, Delmar. Yeah, make a note. I also typically I send especially if we're doing a different degree plan, I save that and I email that to them. If I had done a schedule, I would have done that also. We talked a little bit about financial aid. We definitely did recommended courses and spoke to, well, met the student and discussed options for degree plans and offered suggestions for classes. Didn't enroll, but they will. So that's pretty much just simple. We know what's going on. The next person who comes along and talks to the same student has some information. The other thing is, well, I can't get into, typically what we do is go into the personal restrictions. And if we had an advising hold, we would do a note timestamp that I talked to them and any kind of information. We didn't enroll. But we discussed options for degree. And make sure you save. So those are some of the things. And then I would email the student, and I should have gotten the email. Did you put it in the?
Yeah, I put it in the chat.
Okay, great.
And then you can also tell the audience that they can see the email right there in colleague, right underneath their name.
Right, but that's our Del Mar email. You know, I typically ask for a private one to make sure that they get it,
Okay.
and then encourage them to check their Del Mar email.
Okay.
What am I forgetting?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to stop recording now.